Good afternoon, Swirly Nation. And welcome to the Arctic Ice Arena in Chicago, Illinois, for today's second matchup between the Chicago Fury and your Pittsburgh Penguins Elite. Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome back to Cinnamon Swirl TV, Cine TV, coming at you live. The Penguins victorious in the first game today, a 2-0 decision over this Chicago Fury team. A game that saw Chicago really control the early play in the game. The Penguins survived the onslaught, came back with a second period goal from Evans and an early third period goal from Carter. And those were enough for the victory as Preston Clutter stopped every piece of vulcanized rubber thrown his way. We'll be back for test number 2 of this 5-game weekend for the 2010 Pens Elite. They're back on the ice with this Fury team, a team that, as we all know, is going to be very difficult to beat twice in a row. The season series right now tied 1-1. So a bit of a rubber match, if you will. We want to thank you and welcome everybody joining from across the land. I know plenty of the Pittsburgh faithful back at home. A number of the hockey moms able to tune in for this one who were unable to make the trip, whether they have other children playing sports or work schedules. So we're happy to be able to bring this one to you in the afternoon. We also have a big Chicago contingency joining us live here as well, so we welcome all of you guys. A number of sick kids at home for the 2011s. I'm sure they're tuned in. Unable to make the trip this weekend, but watching Cine TV as they recover from various ailments. And of course, the two Penguins who were unable to make the trip. I'm hearing good news about the status of both Tito and Dalton. So hopefully you guys are on the mend. Looks like we have Nini already checking in on the chat. Her favorite Penguin with a big one in the first game. We got Dougie out there. He's checking in Sue Stetz as well as Romo. Hey, what's up, Romo? Lori Carter, the Let's Go Pens. I know Tara Ofterhide throwing up the pictures of Tucker, cheering on the Penguinis. In the first one, I'm sure she's joining us as well. Remember, if you hit the subscribe button, you'll be able to join us on the live chat. So let's make sure we hit subscribe. Log into your Google account. That'll get you into your YouTube account. Click on the subscribe button and join Swirly Nation. No, we picked up at least a few subscribers after the last game. Thank you. For those of you who jumped on, we appreciate it. Exactly a pair. Flanked by the hockey dads on the right. Cameraman Chris Merlot on the left with producer Nick Paris. We're going to get this one underway here from Chicago. The starting lineup for your Penguins: in net, the masked man, William Hanner. The defense, number 5, the fine wine, David Merlot, and 34, Rylan Ofterhide. Up front for the Penguins, the right wing is Carter Shube. The left wing is Jack Reel. And at center, Austin Wu. Shube got decked right off the bat. Gonna let him play as in come Chicago. Shube will return that favor with a bit of a when I hip, you hip, we hip at the blue line. Reel up to Wu. Wu with a tap up off the boards. He'll gather it in. He's got Reel driving the net. He'll send it to him. It's off the stick of Chicago's Foyt. Chicago back up to center, chopped away from Aker by Starr. It'll be gathered in by Reel. Tapped up in the air. Onto the ice comes Paris and Hartman. Now Brody Carter as the Penguins complete their full line change. The defense pair Starr and Kaminsky as Keefe carries it to his backhand and fires a shot down low. Hanner kicks it away. Battle takes it to the corner. Paris working there with Starr up the wall. Unable to get control the first time is Carter. He'll whack at it a second time. A bouncing puck will come free to a Fury player who sends it across to Keefe for a one-timer that's blocked out front. The Fury have control here in the first as they'll work it down low. It's Sedlick. Up top, Herrera. D-to-D play there right along the Pens blue line before being dumped in the corner where Kaminsky will wedge it further behind the net to be gathered by Starr. He makes a cut up, able to go off the boards. He was looking to hit Paris, doesn't get free. Keefe picks it off, weaves to the outside. He'll play it back to the point, no one home there. Penguins working on another line change as they get a wholesale 5 new flightless birds take the ice. Evans disrupts. Armstrong follows on. He'll get it to Evans. He tries to feed it across to Filiaggi. That pass blocked, but Evans will get control back to Merlot. The puck rolls up his stick, so he'll gather it at center, and the Penguins will dump and chase. Evans whacks it in. Filiaggi, the chaser. 4 checks to the corner before it's rimmed around. That pressure forces the turnover to Ofterhide. A puck into the feet of Filiaggi. Tries to shoot it through once. The backhander skips wide of the cage. It'll be Armstrong the first one to it. He's back to Merlot. Merlot with a heavy shot. That's deflected. No high stick. It'll go to the corner where it's gathered by the Fury and sent back up to Cantor. Cantori into the Penguin zone. The big forward makes a move around Merlot. Firing one. There's Hanner with a big save. Chopped just wide of the crease a second time. The Fury control now in the Penguin zone. Evans and Ofterhide pressure. A backside feed just misses the twig of a Fury player standing at the back post. Armstrong able to pick off a dump in and dump it in himself. Penguins will get another change. Quick shifts here. I love the speed of the changes. As White now Aker. Aker gets bumped by Shube. It'll be picked up by Reel, and he's back out of the Penguin zone. Tracked by Aker. Forced to the outside. Knocked down on the play. Reel. He ends up underneath of Foyt as Shube gets to it. His centering pass misses Wu. Diving to the ice, Kaminsky can't get control. Here's Varick with it. He delays as he weaves in, leaves a pass. One-timer by White off of Kaminsky, and it goes in off the skate of the Penguins defenseman. As you watch the Fury gain the zone there, Varick delays long enough to confuse the Penguins defense, making them make a selection, leaves it for White, who fires a one-timer. That catches the back of Kaminsky's skate and goes between the 5-hole of Hanner to give the Fury the first lead of the day. It's 1-0 Chicago early in this one. That was the goal they didn't get in the first game. Penguins were able to survive this onslaught. Now it's tracked by Wu. A turnover, pops out in front. Wu tries to drag it to the middle. He's turned back, and out come the Fury. It's Aker. Defended well by Kaminsky. It'll be to the corner for Starr. Starr has it taken away by White. Now Reel pops it back to White. Rims it around for Reel again. He taps it right by the defense, and the Penguins have a 3-on-3 as they gain the zone. Reel will fire one. Blocked. Wu gets to it, and he fires one by the Rizza, the Jizza, the ghost-faced killer. Are Wu serious? Austin Wu makes it a 1-1 game. Jack Reel drove that down the left. His shot was blocked, but that rebound off the shin pad was picked up by 78, who sees the screened goaltender, and he's able to pot it past him and tie this game at 1. Face-off controlled by the Fury, 10:35 to play, first period of a 1-1 game. So very important shift after a goal as Keefe will gain the zone. Right side, pressured by Carter, down falls Carter, shot comes in, blockered out by the handman. We dumped in behind for another centering fast pass that's defended by Ofterhide, picked up by Merlot. Merlot challenged by 2 Fury players who throw it off the side of the cage. Paris will get there and go for Hartman. Followed up by Paris. A bouncing puck will be gathered in by Carter, and they've got a potential 3-on-2. Carter will dump it in, Hartman will chase. Setting it up, the Fury goalie weaves it out front. Carter with a backhand that's kicked aside with the stick, waved to the corner and cleared by Chicago. Star to Carter. Carter to Paris. Paris into the corner to stop and start on the delay. Hartman gets there, banks it off the wall. Evans in with puck pressure. He'll force the turnover. Hops by a player all the way to the corner where he is hauled down. Raise your arm. No call. Evans having a yard sale. He lost gloves and sticks and everything. Stars in. Has Filiaggi driving, opts for the shot that's gloved and held. So Shuby decked early. Evans just tripped and driven to the ice along the wall. It'll all result in an offensive zone draw for Filiaggi. Kept at the line by Ofterhide. Chopped out of the air by Filiaggi. He'll battle along the wall, outnumbered 2-1 by the Fury. They get control and send it out the center where Merlot will dump it back in. And Filiaggi was just off sides. They could see that. Offsides by about 1/8 of an inch. So the faceoff will come outside of the Fury line. Should have come to center ice. It'll be Ofterhide to it in the Penguin zone. He tries to go up the wall. It's turned right back in on him. Centering feed. Cantour behind. Fires it out in front for a one-timer. Chopped out of the air. It'll be Armstrong getting to it. Chipping it to Evans. Evans drives in, trailed by Filiaggi. Swiped away from Evans and whacked down the ice. Apparently no icing. Star will get there and work it to Shub. Shub, a nice tap up the boards. Out of the zone come the Penguins at Star and Filiaggi. They've got Evans. Drives it in. Evans to Star. And they go Chick. Tack. Toe. Filiaggi to Evans. Evans to Star. He drags it through. Fires it by the netminder. And he tickles the twine with a twisted wrister. And they take a 99-1. Oh, they went the wrong way on the scoreboard. Now it's 2-1. They had the scoreboard at 99-1. 2-1, the Penguins gain the lead. 8:17 to play here in the first. Reel will gather in the draw. All important shift after a goal. The Penguins tied things up after the Fury goal. Penguins take the lead. Let's see what this shift brings as Wu drives into the offensive zone. He'll leave it for Shuby. Shuby tries to go to the point. Read well by the Fury, and back they come. That was Campbell picking it off. He finds Aker, who drives Star. Shot down low, pass off pads. Hanner with a phenomenal kick out all the way to Shub at the blue line to start the breakout for a shot from Wu. His shot blocker to the corner. He followed up to the rebound and was able to work it to Reel. Wu and Reel play catch. Reel will shoot one short side. Shub pitchforked in front, will have a whistle and a face-off. Harris Carter, Hartman, Ofterhide, and Merlot. Again, the Penguins with 4 defense right now. A couple kids out with illness. We'll see if they do any maneuvering of the lineup. Probably not with a 2-1 lead. As a fanned-on shot's gathered in by Hartman, a nice tap to Paris. Paris streams up the ice, challenges the middle, delays a bit and gets it to Ofterhide in the corner. His pass in front comes off the boot of Carter, a bouncing puck gathered in by Chicago. Off of Hartman, swiped away from Keefe. Starr will go back to get it, but it's overskated a bit. Keefe got to it, tries to center. It'll come the whole way out to center ice. Kornak sends it in behind the Penguins' net where Ofterhide will gather. He lofts it up the wall. In like a tap pass there by Hartman, picked off by Chicago. They'll work it to Paris, who gets it to Carter, who finds his way to center red for the dump and change. Armstrong, first one on the ice. He'll be the F1 attacker. He disrupts things. Evans follows on, but Chicago able to maintain control. Pass deflected. It'll come free. There's Filiaggi, a tap to Evans. Evans is in. He finds Armstrong. High slot stick on puck block as the puck ends up behind the net. Evans got to it, has it taken away, and out comes Chicago. Cantori to the middle. Weaving in come the Fury for a shot. Blocker side. Bounces back in front. It's on the back of the net. Chopped off by Starr. Starr will stream up the right, dumping it in. They'll get him for icing. So after trailing 1-0, the Penguins have come storming back with a pair of goals. Austin Wu and Jake Starr, the scorers for the boys in black. Chicago going left to right on your screen, the Penguins right to left. Chicago in white, Penguins in the black gin and juice. Chicago's white uniforms have the Fury logo on the chest. Black pants and white socks. They have traditional black helmets, and your Penguins gin and juice jerseys have the Pittsburgh. From the right shoulder to the left hip. Black pants with gold stripes, black socks with gold and white stripes, and the iconic gold Pens Elite helmets as Real fires a missile towards the net. It comes off of the shoulder, rebound gathered in by Chicago, who sends it all the way down for an icing. Face-off will come back to the right of the Chicago net. Battled for, coming free. There's Paris. Couldn't quite get the shot through. Hartman knocked down on the play. It'll be picked up by Campbell. Campbell for Chicago. Controls to the outside. Leaves it for a defenseman. Pressured immediately by Paris. Wedged up the wall just past Carter. And it'll finally get its way out the center to be gathered in by Starr. Starr to Kaminsky. Swiped away from him and in come the Fury. Dangerous play there as Paris comes back on Sedlik. It'll come free to White. White pass out front for a shot from Campbell that screams just wide of the blocker side. Paris gets to it and fires it out through center to the defenseman of Chicago to be dumped back into the Penguins' end. It'll be Starr in the corner. Starr uses the body to protect the puck, drags it around to the area behind the cage to be rimmed around to Hartman. Hartman banks it heavily off the wall. It'll come back to Kaminsky, who wedges it up to center. Carter up on the forecheck. A Chicago controlling play here in this latter part of the third period. A tap pass into the middle. In comes MJ Campbell. Bouncing puck. Swiped away by Paris. Keefe will dump it further into the Penguin zone before it's gathered by Starr. Bumped away from him. A centering pass off Sedlak and just wide. Sedlak stays on the puck and takes it away from Paris. Paris and Hartman battle along the wall. It's popped in behind. There's a takeaway for Fury. Sliding through as Paris breaking the play up. And he'll loft it safely out the center as the Penguins turn for a change. It'll be an icing on the play. And with 3:22, we'll come all the way back into the Penguins' end. The Penguins able to get that line change out there. It's Aufderheide with Merlot. Bigliaggi, Armstrong, and Evans up front. Bigliaggi will battle and win it to Merlot. Rimmed around. Evans under immediate pressure goes back for Aufderheide, who sends it back to Merlot. They'll try the other side for Armstrong. Up off of the skate of Bigliaggi, just couldn't be popped by Evans, and back come the Fury, it's Cantore. He had a great first game, number of scoring chances as the puck pops free. Bigliaggi's gonna get to it, he's got Evans going with him. They look, backdoor, tappy! It's Bigliaggi setting up Cameron Evans! And oh, baby sausage and gravy, the Penguins lead 3-1. On what was a beautiful play that started in the defensive zone, but with Cruz Armstrong pressuring the point, getting his stick on puck, dislodging it, and Bigliaggi on his horse, able to track the puck down right around the Fury blue line. It was a 2-on-0 into the offensive zone. Feathers one to the stick of Evans, who makes no doubt about it. As Paris will control the draw. Back for Wu. There's that change we potentially talked about. Looks like the Penguins are going to deploy Austin Wu to give the defense a little bit of a break. He'll be playing the left side defense here with Jake Starr. A bouncing puck will be gathered by Wu. It takes a special kind of player to make that change in the middle of a game, especially in the middle of a period. And I'm hoping nobody's injured on the Penguins bench. As the Penguins will battle in behind, Schub will get to it in the corner. He'll reverse, trying to go lower to Real. Aker pressures it. And the Fury are able to come away. It's Campbell. Aker streaking in. Shot down low, kicked aside by Hanner. Banked off the boards. Able to be kept in, though, by Miller at the point. He'll send it behind for Starr. Starr in front for Paris. Paris able to get it out over the line. Miller controls for the Fury, but a poke check by Schub, and here comes Jack Real. Jumping Jack Real into the zone. Tries to drag and almost got through. The Fury will counterattack. It's Sedlak. One-on-one move, able to come away with it, but it ends up in his feet, twisting all the way to the corner. Keefe there, couldn't come away with it as Bigliaggi does. Now Keefe off the skate of Merlot. It's Merlot and Aufderheide back out there. Chopping it out to center is Hartman, tracked by Bigliaggi. It looks like we're going to see Bigliaggi and Paris, the center iceman. As Aufderheide possesses, finds Carter. Carter finds a streaking Luca Bigliaggi. He's defended well by a pair of Fury. Up the wall for a battle for Brody Carter. He sends it off the hand of Kornak, where Foyt will pick it up, twisting in his own end and finding Keefe. Keefe's cross-ice pass comes off the skate of Bigliaggi. Nice little tap play there, but it's sent the other way. Carter will find Bigliaggi. Bigliaggi will find Wu with speed. Wu's shot, glove side, gloved and held. We'll see Paris, Armstrong, and Evans with Wu and Kaminsky. Face-off controlled by Chicago. Popped behind where Armstrong's in on the forecheck pressure. It'll be reversed again to Miller. Evans there to pressure. Wu takes away some space and then smartly retreats. The newly tabbed Penguins defenseman here. As Armstrong will pressure at center ice, it's dumped in, no icing. Wu the first one back to get it in his own end. Worked up the half wall, pressured well by Armstrong. It comes back to the point. Bouncing puck misses Armstrong's stick. Ends up on the twig of Cantore, who dances a bit as the horn sounds, and we end the first period. An exciting first 15 minutes of hockey here from the Arctic Ice Arena, the hockey home of the Chicago Fury. Also the big billboard home of Nancy's Pizza. Nancy! Everybody remember those commercials about Nancy going to the bridal shower at the bridal shower? Nancy. She leaves Nancy at the baby shower or bridal shower. Those were great. Missing my partner here, Colby Armstrong. Also missing back home the Commodore, as well as Mr. Bolus, Mr. Jones, Mr. Brenneman, all having taken shifts in the color commentating booth here. All the 2010 dads are pansies and won't jump on. Big pansies. So the Penguins get set here. As we'll switch sides, we'll throw 15 minutes on the clock. Paris, Evans, and Armstrong with Starr and Ofterhide. 5-on-5 action to begin the second period. I like the new score clock up in the upper corner. Producer Nick Paris hooking us up with that. We're going to translate that over the 2011 games. As Starr gains control in the Penguins' end, it's a D-to-D play to Ofterhide. He finds Evans streaking through. Evans challenging Foyt. Foyt doing a good job keeping control, but it'll be Paris now. Paris down to the corner. It's chopped past Evans, picked up by Foyt. Foyt with it to Varick off the wall. Armstrong gathers in neutral zone, gets it to Paris. Paris tries to find Evans. It's swiped away, gathered by Starr. Now Armstrong. Armstrong fires it at the net. That's stopped and covered. It'll be an attacking zone draw for the Penguins, now going left to right on your big screen TVs, in your media rooms. Special shout out to all the 2010 moms at home watching and the grandmothers. Grandmothers love me. Bouncing puck to the corner. We want to mention the Penguins sponsor Dick's Sporting Goods. The Dick's Sporting Goods Pittsburgh Penguins Elite. Lucky enough to have a gigantic Dick's Sporting Goods in Cranberry for all your sporting goods needs. Think Dick's. As Real comes up the right. Looks for Filiaggi. It goes off of his skate. He'll drag it on the backhand to the corner. Knocked away from him and gathered in by Chicago. A puck bouncing over the stick of Wu. In comes Sedlick. In on Hanner. He'll shoot. Coming out to challenge is the Penguins goaltender, who takes it right off the chest. Heavy shot. Better save as Keefe gets control. The Fury going to try to get the Penguins running around as Shub gets to it. Sends it to the point, but right to Foyt. His shot in, blocked by the Penguins. It'll come off the stick of Shub. The Penguins will look for a change. All 5 Penguins getting a change. Oh, no, 4 of them. Looks like Carter's on. Paris out with Artman as they go off sides at the Penguin line. Actually, it is all 5 Penguins. Carter had changed a bit earlier. Faceoff will come outside of the Penguin zone for a faceoff for Paris. The Fury will dump it into the Penguins' end. It'll end up behind the cage for Kaminsky to rim around. Now it's Starr. Starr, heavy off the wall. Not going to be hard enough to get to Hartman, but following up is Paris, who gets control. Fakes inside, cuts outside, drives the middle. Toe drag, leaves it for Carter. His shot comes off of the chest and is covered. Crashing in is Hartman. He's asked politely not to do so in the future. I'm here to tell you he will do it again. We again want to say a special thank you to all the veterans out there on this Veterans Day. Thank you for your service to this great nation. We appreciate your time, service, and sacrifice. As it's wedged past Star, Varick ties him up as he goes the whole way to the corner. Good battle there. Comes up the wall. It'll now be Hartman twisting it off the half wall and sending it in front for Carter. Carter breaking up, able to toss it past Miller and track it to the corner. Hartman able to get there and find Carter again. These two workhorses battling hard as it's rimmed around for Aker. Harris there to pressure, and retreating go the Fury. A bank pass off the boards avoids the stick of Varick, ends up with Ofterhide, who goes D to D to reset things for Merlot. Merlot will find the Penguins winger, who dumps it in. Evans crashing to the corner, frees it up for Filiaggi. Filiaggi twisting at the top of the zone. He'll leave for Merlot. His shot blocked. Merlot able to keep it though on second effort and find the corner for Armstrong. Armstrong out-muscled along the wall, but Filiaggi comes in support. Able to get it. Free shot from Evans, blocked and cleared. Good work down low from 2010 and able to find 43 as it's heavy off the wall by Ofterhide. A nice pass, finds a one-time missile from Filiaggi that comes off of the pillows down low of the goaltender. Evans turns with it. With some speed, drives it in, taps it to Armstrong, back to Evans! And he will deposit the puck on a feed from Armstrong. And Cameron Evans is a duck-billed platypus. Bonk, 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 bonk. And the Penguins take a 4-1 lead. Cruz Armstrong with a filthy dish. Cameron Evans got the puck, drove the lane, was on his backhand, feathers it over to Armstrong, who just sends it right back to Evans, who got that defender off of his back for the backdoor tappy. And the Penguins lead 4-1, a dangerous lead for Pittsburgh, as this was the lead earlier this season before the Fury came storming back to win 5-4. So the Penguins are going to have to work hard here. Is shift after a goal, and that's what we're talking about as the Fury break free in front. I think it was Sedlak who found the opening in front. Kaminsky was tied up along the boards, winning the battle. I think MJ Campbell found Sedlak in the high slot, who was able to send a wrist shot through. And they've cut the lead to 2. 4-2 Penguins. Here with 10 to play in the second. After a 2-0 game earlier, this seems like a scoring onslaught, as now Shub has it. Taps it to Reel. Can Reel break free? He does. Tries the 5-hole. He's denied. Penguins unable to keep it in the zone as the Fury come back through. A great pass there by Shuby to find Reel streaking down the middle. I thought the Penguins had that shift after a goal. As Paris wedges it out to center. Heath gets there. So strong on his edges, a powerful skater. Penguins will gather in their own end. It's Ofterhide. Now Star. Star with a nifty move behind the net. Off of Shub, it'll be icing. Tried to tap it into the middle, ends up all the way down the ice. So the Penguins will get a change. I just realized Rizza Cars. RizzaCars.com is a sponsor of the scoreboard here. The Rizza, also a member of the Wu-Tang Clan. Be Brody Carter firing it up to center. Protecting is Wu. Back to the point for a shot to be kicked aside by Merlot, who looks to be stung by the shot. Hartman comes out the center. It goes off the stick of Brody Carter. To be cleared back up, and here come the Fury with some speed down the right wing side. Firing one, locked away, following up Filiaggi. Overskates it at first, but stays with it. Goes indirect off the boards for Brody Carter, who wedges it all the way into the corner. Filiaggi, the first forechecker. Hartman absolutely annihilated along the wall. As he Paul Bunyan the puck down low, the Penguins go to work. Getting batted about here. Evans in a battle behind as Varick comes to center to challenge Kaminski. Great job by Brennan Kaminski to stand him up on that one. Puck in the corner, wedged around for Hartman. Hartman spins it to the middle. White picks it off. The Fury control at the line and dump it in. It'll be Kaminski getting to it behind the Penguins net. Here's Starr. Starr up for Evans. Evans a bouncing puck. Finding Paris, and he'll drive in onside. Outside, inside, frees up for a shot from Armstrong that's kicked away. White to the puck for Chicago. He'll go hard off of Aker, who peels off the wall in control of the puck, and the Fury will regroup. Armstrong with the forecheck pressure, forces it to the outside. Hit by Evans, picked up by White. Fury will try the opposite side this time. Good directional forecheck by Armstrong, forces a dump in. Aker, first one there. He'll be tied up by the fine wine in the corner. It'll be Paris now, wedging it up off of Evans. Can't clear the zone. Evans will swipe at it. Now Paris will bank it off the wall out to center, and the Penguins get it out. As Miller possesses Paris with the forecheck. Evans gets control, drives around the outside, cuts to the middle. He'll fire one at the net that's kicked away. Miller pushing Evans to the wall as the Fury this time come to center. Tapping it by Wu. Wu able to tie up Keefe just enough. Kaminski got to it, but a turnover here. In comes Keefe. He tries to go roof city. It'll come off the net instead, and we're going to head all the way out to center ice for this ensuing faceoff. This may be the best passing game we've seen out of the boys in black thus far this season. A number of just filthy tic-tac-toe tappies. If you get a minute on the chat, if you've got a particular veteran you want to give a shout out to, you can throw their name up in our chat and be sure to thank them personally, as we will do so with Jared Reel, Jack's dad, a veteran here. As Shuby gets control, he'll find Filiaggi. Filiaggi challenges Foyt. It's in the feet. Filiaggi yanked down in a corner, following on Shu, but they're able to pop it out the center for Keefe. Keefe defended by Wu, who pushes it to the corner. Centering pass comes free to Campbell. Starr with a great defensive play there to keep Campbell from getting a shot off. It'll be Shub. Shub to the Penguin line. Has Reel in the high slot. He finds him. Fires one in. Rebound swiped at. Shoving Shub to the ice. And we'll get a face-off in the Fury zone. Carter trying to break out into the front. Knocked off of his stick, turning with it, Paris. Paris has Hartman, tries for him. That saucy pass is blocked, but Hartman will get there to wedge it towards the net. He takes a whack and a shove, and will continue to give warnings instead of penalties. It'll be Paris. Back to Ofterhide. Down low for Hartman. It'll be picked up by Miller. He's bumped by Hartman. And Torrey with it. He carries it around. Banked heavily off the wall. It'll be Jake Starr gathering it in. To the line to be dumped in by Starzy. Gathered in by the Fury. They'll come back up to center. Cantori with it. Excellent back checking here. There's Paris, the center, to force things wide. Carter helping the defense cover the middle. as Starr banks it up off the boards. A puck will be dislodged to be skated into deftly by Ofterhide. Ofterhide up the wing. He'll dump and chase himself. Twisting out of the corner. Centering one. Hartman, forehand, backhand, spinning shot. Kicked out. Filiaggi to it. Absolutely hauled down on the play. Evans will jump in. He dislodges it. There's Hartman. Hartman looking backside to Filiaggi. Couldn't get the shot through. Evans back to it. Taps it to Wu. Wu back for Evans. Evans to the middle. There's Filiaggi twisting with it in front. He's tied up on the play. Bouncing puck sent past Wu to the Penguins' end for Merlot. The Penguins really turning things up here in the second as it's out to the line. Foyt jumping on it. Down to the corner. They play catch. Evans swipes in and gets it free to Armstrong. He can't quite clear. Foyt possesses to the corner. Banked off the boards behind. Here's Evan White. The dangerous White with the puck as the Fury now controlling the Penguin zone. After a period of Penguins control, they've switched things up until Wu gets control and fires it out to center. I think he was even looking for Evans. It just missed. Great play there by the newly minted Penguin defenseman. It'll be dumped in by Filiaggi. Evans in to get it. Tied up by Foyt to the wall. Nice job there to tie up Evans, free up the defender, and out come the Fury. It's Aker. Aker 1-on-2 as he cuts towards Starr. Delays. Possesses in the Fury or in the Penguins' end before Starr plays takeaway. He'll find Evans. Evans is defended by Miller. Evans has the puck knocked away as Starr was joining him. All the way back up ice is Keefe. Back to defend is Kaminsky. Firing one. Blocker side. It'll end up in behind the cage. Knocked down on the play is a Fury forward. I think Keefe. You got White in there for the Fury as well. It'll come off for the Fury player. Gathered by Reel. And Reel streaks out the center. Reel coast to coast. One end to the other as he carries behind the Fury cage. He's defended by Miller. It's left for Campbell. Campbell will bank one off the boards, and out comes Keefe. Keefe with Sedlick. He has one for the Fury today as Keefe cuts down the blue line. It's clearly an offside play for Campbell. With 2:40 to play in the second, the Penguins 4, the Fury 2. And a back and forth, hotly contested battle. We have our first request, and absolutely my wife getting in there to make sure we give a happy Veterans Day to my Uncle Lee, Cameron's great uncle, and the entire Stewart clan, as my grandfather as well, a veteran, my uncle, my cousins, most of that side of the Stewart family decorated in service, so thank you all. As Merlot comes back to make a play, here's Reel getting control at center. Firing one to the middle, a puck just avoids the cage. Hopped up the wing. You're going to see this now. The Fury are absolutely escaping forwards as Campbell drives in off the glove of Hanner, swept away by Wu. The Fury are keeping wings way up at center, trying to sneak one past the Penguins here in the second. That's the second time we've seen that forward all the way up at the Penguins' blue line. Brody Carter battling in the corner. They're pushing those Penguins' defense off those blue lines. Here we see another one. This one read well by Kaminsky as they'll come out the opposite side, dumping it by Wu. It's icing. It should be icing. How is that not icing? That is awful. The up front referee waved it off. That's just not the proper call at all. The other ref has his hand up. Nobody came near playing the puck. Nobody slow skated that. As Cantori has it, and the Fury are in business. A shot off the blocker, bounces around. Here's Hartman with it. Hartman up off of Carter. As Filiaggi pushes the defense back, Carter gains the zone. He's trailed by Wu. He'll leave it for him for a wrister that's into the paraphernalia and held. It'll be Armstrong, Evans, and Paris with Ofterhide and Starr. Squish's namesake, also a veteran, my Uncle Jack, no longer with us, but the Squish tender, Connor Jack, named for him, as well as my wife's uncle, a veteran as well. Uncle George's Paris drives in, fires a backhander that's just wide of the cage. Great feed from Armstrong on that one. He's been the waiter out there so far in this one. It goes off the stick of Ofterhide. We got about 7 seconds left in this one as it's banked up off the boards past Armstrong. Gathered in, and the second period's going to come to a close. So the Penguins leading 4-2. After 2, I'm going to step aside for a break. We're going to bring you back here for third period action. We'll switch sides. We'll throw 15 minutes on the clock. We'll remind you to hit the subscribe button below. Log into your Google account and hit subscribe. Once you do so, you'll be able to join us on the live chat here in the Cine Oven, live from the Arctic Ice Center. Penguins leading 4-2 after 2. We want to mention the Penguins coaches, Jeff Hannon and Chris Shue. Viliaggi wins the draw. Up for Wu, it'll be dumped in by Shue. Banked off the wall by the Fury, it's Aker, finding White. Joined by Varick as White drives in, leaves it for Aker. Backdoor feed, bouncing puck gathered in by the Real Deal. Jack Real flies through the neutral zone into the offensive end where he fires one across the ice looking for the stick of Shue. He'll find it in the corner. He'll battle there, lofting it back behind the cage for Real. Real centers one to Wu. Wu has Viliaggi cutting. I think he was aiming for the deflection there. As the Fury carry it back out to center, it'll be Wu hitting Real. Real into the zone. Winding, firing off the glove. Rebound sits there. It is deftly cleared by the Chicago Defense Corps. Kaminsky fans on a clearing attempt. MJ Campbell with it. Finds the high slot. Sedlick again. This time tracked exceptionally well by Hanner and knocked away with the blocker. Wedging it out the center is Hartman. Around the defender is Carter. A potential 2-on-1 here as Carter weaves in. Swiped away by the defense. Great play there. Parrish will keep it at the line. Looking for Carter. Turned back the other way by Chicago. Across ice feed. It'll be picked up by Sedlick to be fired towards the net. It'll end up behind the cage for Starr. Starr tries to go off the wall. Stick of a forechecker gets in the way. Now the Penguins will battle along that near side wall. Passed in front. They play tic-tac. No toe as it's cleared by the Penguins. Another shot. This one off the skate of Brody Carter, who I believe does not have nerve endings in his body, because that had to hurt, and he just pops right back up and gets in the play. Spinning it in front. There's Campbell. Backside feed wide open for a shot from the defense that's to the chest area of Hanner. He squeezes it, holds on, and the Penguins survive this round of the Fury onslaught. Third period action here. It'll be Filiaggi at the faceoff dot. Controlled by the Fury. Behind for Merlot. Wedged to Ofterhide. He delays out of the corner. Will retreat behind the cage. Off the wall towards Armstrong. He tied up Miller. Is able to get the puck out to center ice. Cantori follows on though for the Fury. Around Ofterhide to the corner. Centering feed deflect by Merlot to the area in the opposite corner. Far side wall to be carried up for Armstrong. Cross ice feed to Evans with speed. He'll delay to the outside, finding Filiaggi in the middle. It rolls off of his stick, but freed for Merlot. Merlot drives in, fires one, blockered away. Filiaggi to the puck. Down low for Armstrong. Now Filiaggi out of the corner. Looking and twisting one in front just behind Evans. Changing Merlot. Penguins able to avoid too many men there. Good job by the Penguins bench as here comes Evans back in. Cross ice feed to Armstrong. He's stick lifted from behind and falling down on the play. Back come the Fury. Aker, left side, cutting to the middle. He'll cross off of a skate in front, off of Hanner to the area behind the net. Oh, wedged back in front by the Fury. Cleared by the Penguins, but no further than the line to be dumped down low for White. White and Wu battle. Kicked further by Filiaggi, gathered in this time by Kaminsky. Sent to Hartman, but his clearing attempt was no good. Kept in by the Fury. They've tilted the ice a bit here in the third. Wu gets to it. Fans on a clearing attempt. He'll try a second time up the wall by Evans. This time it'll be drug out by Filiaggi to center. He gets it all the way through. Fires one just wide of the cage, and the Penguins get a bit of a change. It'll be Shuby on the forecheck. Shuby able to keep it in the zone. There's Real in support as White gets there. He dislodges it to Shub. Up for Starr. Starr has it backside. He'll go to the corner instead. Harris. Real taps at it. Paris chops at it. The Fury get control. It's Aker at center. Back cross ice feed for White. New Fury players onto the ice. It's Varick. White tied up. Comes free to Hartman. Dylan Eric Hartman Cartman drives down the right-hand side, fires one in front for a one-timer by Real that's off of a skate and cleared by the Fury. Passed up for Keefe to cut to the outside, winding one, shooting it blocker side. Paris on the back check, able to clear the zone to center. Herrera with it, D to D, and the Fury possess in their own end. Up for Keefe, tap pass to MJ Campbell. Campbell down the right. Has it knocked away by Paris. Gathered in by Starr. Sent up for Real off of his stick. No icing as we are inside of the 10-minute mark. Campbell into Sedlick. He's got the second Fury goal here as he sends one across ice. Great stick on puck. Defensive play by Merlot to block the shot. Paris tries to clear. It's sent back behind for Merlot to wedge around. Hartman pressures. Picked up by the Fury though. Off the wall for a shot from Keefe that's off of Hanner to the corner for Merlot. The fine wine. Up through center with speed. Tries to get back to the middle and end up on the stick of Carter for a heavy shot to the glove hand side. That's caught, trapped, held, whistle, face off, offensive zone. Filiaggi wins it cleanly back to Wu. Snapping it D to D to Merlot. His shot blocked. Pop past him. It'll be the Fury gaining the zone. Defended by the Penguins defenseman Wu. A cross ice feed. Kept in nicely by Chicago. Wu gets there. He wedges it off the wall. Bouncing puck will come off of Carter and out to center. Dumped in. It'll be icing if it's far enough, and it is So we'll come back to the Penguins' end. Faceoff will be the right wing corner of the Penguins' defensive zone. Paris on the dot. Swipe to the point by Evans. No further. Shot by Miller. Evans with a block, and it's out to center. Voigt will pick it up, twisting and turning. Using those linear crossovers there to gain some speed. Tapping it back to his partner, Miller. Armstrong gets there to play takeaway. Wedges it towards the middle, looking for Evans. It'll come free to Miller, up the center for Paris. Now Star to Armstrong. Armstrong, bouncing puck will be gathered in by Evans as he gets to the middle. Tries the toe drag ski, no go. Back come the Fury, it's White. With speed, down the side, centering pass to Varick, backhander, fought off by Hanner, gathered in by Starzy. Now a shot from White goes the whole way through. It'll be Armstrong. If he sees him, he might have Evans. He does. Bouncing puck just tipped clear of Evans by not sure who that was in White. It'll be Star twisting with it in the Penguins' end. Here's Paris with it. Now Reel in. Onside play. Here's Shub with the shot down low, covered up by the Fury goaltender. It'll be Filiaggi, Reel, Shub, Wu, and Ofterhide. Wu back to the defensive position as the Penguins shorthanded on the blue line. Penguins 7.5 to play here in the third period, about halfway through the third with a 2-goal lead. Off of Ofterhide. Picked up and sent to Filiaggi. Sweeping in. As it knocked away by Sedlik, and back come the Fury. Centering pass for Campbell to the outside for Keefe. He's got half of a step. He'll fire one and just miss the net on the blocker side. Here's Shub all the way across to Reel. He's got Filiaggi as he taps it into the Fury end. Cuts off the half wall. Peels up, has it taken away, chopped back out to the blue line. Campbell will get control. 3-on-2 for the Fury, trailing by a pair. It'll be Campbell in, leaving it for Keefe. Playing catch, firing one. It's underneath the goaltender, Hanner. And the Penguins survive another one. A 3-on-2 there. Under 7 minutes to play. Paris to lean over the dot. Wedged back to Miller, pressured by Carter as it's dumped in behind. Star gets there. He's tied up well by Cantore. They'll twist off the wall. Paris in to help Merlot there in support as well. It'll ultimately be the Fury coming away with it. Taken back by Hartman, chopped to the blue line, freed up. Here's Paris. Can he get a step right wing side? He's got Carter trailing. Cuts into the middle. Looks, winds, and it rolls off the twig at the last second, fanning on the shot. It'll ultimately be Cantore for the Fury now, and a 2-on-2 defended by Star. He swipes it off of his stick. It'll be centered off the stick of Merlot to the opposite corner. Merlot in to get it. Banging about. Paris with support. He'll fire it around for Carter. Crashing down, I believe that's Miller to keep it in. Oh, not Miller, it's 14. It's all the 4. Can't see 14's last name because he's got that filthy flow. Rocking for the Fury. Fired behind. Here's Merlot in the corner. Up for Armstrong. Tries a one-touch pass. That was read well and kept in by Varick. Now Merlot. He'll find Carter. Carter finds Filiaggi. Filiaggi to the offensive end. Weaving, cutting, firing a tricky shot back against the grain. Cleared by the Fury. It's Campbell. Snapping it over to Aker. His centering pass off the stick of Ofterhide to the area behind for Varick to twist and turn. Pressured by Filiaggi. Behind the net for Campbell. Out in front, off of a skate, off of a stick, cleared out, kept out, kicked out, chopped at. It's to the corner. Armstrong gets there. It'll send it past the stick of Foyt. I think it went off Foyt's stick, but we'll call it icing. Find a little more. Let's go, boys. Filiaggi, Armstrong, Evans, Wu, and I think Merlot on the other side. As it's off the draw, shoved in on Hanner. Merlot tied up, gets it up the wall for Armstrong, crashing down Foyt. Filiaggi follows on in support, taps it out the center. Evans twisting with it, joined by Filiaggi. Knocked off his stick, right to Filiaggi, who toe drags. Evans backside, and he sends it all the way through the crease. Crashing down the boards comes Shuby. Evans pressures, his pressure frees it up for Filiaggi, cutting to the middle, weaving in, poked off of his stick, back comes Sedlik. Evans on the back check as down falls Keefe. Wu will gather, snapping it to Merlot. Merlot driving to the red line and dumping it in. An odd bounce right out in front, controlled, way to be patient there by the goaltender. Here's Keefe with it, rolling puck. Possessed by the Fury. I thought Real was going to come away with that one. Keefe delays in, finding the high slot. Sedlik again with the shot. The Penguins' legs are gone. The Penguins' back check has been subpar. As Paris gets control, drives wide for Foyt. Starr able to carry it in, or protect it in the corner, I mean. MJ Campbell peels off the wall, knocked down on the play. Paris will get control. 3.5 to play. They'll go up off the boards for Real. Real unable to get control. Here's Varick. Tick-tack in front off of Hanner. Swipe that by Real. Will clear it all the way down. Bouncing puck will avoid Miller. It's not going to be icing. No icing. It wasn't far enough. Varick will drive in. Defended by Carter. Penguins get a line change. Some fresh legs out there for the boys in black. Here's Filiaggi with it. He'll rim it around all the way to the point. No further as it's kept in. Wu to the wall. Here's a nice reversal by Wu to Kaminsky. Up the wall for Carter. It's turned back. White to the corner. Off of a skate. Chopping at it. Carter off Filiaggi. Filiaggi able to make a move and get out. He's got Hartman with him. He'll do the smart thing. Red line and dump. Foyt back to get it. Hartman plays takeaway in front. Bouncing puck. Filiaggi can't get it on net. Here comes White with space, and that's never something you want to hear. Back pressure from Carter. He'll cut, weave, fire one over the cage. Keefe back to get it. As the Penguins, again, are tired. Both centers pulling double duty with Wu, doubling up on the defensive side. Penguins' wings are going to have to activate down low here a little bit more. Carter over skates, bouncing puck in front, into Hanner, wedged at, kept out, covered, 2 minutes to go. Every little bit. 2 minutes of work, let's go. The Fury were going to take a timeout. Fury timeout. Potentially an empty net at that end. We'll see when they deploy. See who the Penguins shove out there for the last 2 minutes here. Hopefully 2 different shifts. We want to welcome all 61 of you here to the broadcast. Thank you, as always, for joining us on Cine TV. Hope you're enjoying this one. An exciting 4-2 Penguins lead here in the third period over the Chicago Fury. But we have seen this fish before. Penguins trying to hold on. Fury tilting the ice here as they will deploy 6 white-clad warriors. The Penguins with 5 flightless birds. It'll be Armstrong, Evans, and Paris up front. Star and Ofterhide on the back. Paris leans over the dot. Wins it cleanly. Star gets there, rims it around. Armstrong unable to get to the puck. It'll be kept in on the half wall, or up at the blue line, sorry. Down low for Sedlick as the Penguins basically enter a bit of a penalty kill stance here. Up to the point. Bouncing puck. To the corner, twisting out of it, Sedlick. Back to the point, sent across, here's Miller. Miller winding, firing. Evans with a block. It'll come back to Miller. This time he'll go to the corner for Keefe. Working hard along the wall. Evans able to chop it up and out to center. Minute 20 left as Campbell gets to the Penguin line and fires it in. Paris to the puck, rims around past Star. Cantori will keep. Star battles along the wall. Following on Paris. Paris heavy off the boards. It'll come to Evans. Evans looking. Banks one off of a shin pad. He'll track it down in behind. Shooting it all the way across. Paris to it. Empty net in that end. Penguins can't convert. Evans will turn off. Sedlak chops it to center. Paris to the puck. Keefe will shove at it. It'll be an offside play on the Penguins.
Way to go, 4-3!
And the Penguins will deploy a new unit. Wu and Kaminsky. Real, Filiaggi, and Shu. 46.9 to play. They put the goaltender back in as it's a face-off right outside the Fury line. Real knocked down on the play. Up for Filiaggi. He picks it off, fires it back in. A bouncing puck will be kicked to the corner by the goalie. As we hit the 30-second mark. Real on the forecheck pressure. 1 forechecker for the Penguins as they've got 3 lined up at that blue line, dumped in by Keefe opposite side. They'll streak Campbell after it. Kept along the half wall, empty net in the Fury end. Kaminsky behind, gets possession, wedges it against the wall. They'll take 1 shot, 2 shots. As time ticks down, your Penguins will escape with 2 victories here against the Chicago Fury today. A 2-0 shutout in Game 1, a 4-2 victory in Game 2. 2-0 on this 5-game weekend to start. We will be in action tomorrow in the 11 o'clock hour. Do we have an actual time? Anybody know the real game time, boys? We'll get you a game time here in a second. 12:30 back home East Coast time, 11:30 Central. Tomorrow as the Penguins will take on the Chicago Reapers. Join us for that one. Thank you all for joining us on this beautiful Veterans Day. Enjoy the rest of your Veterans Day. And join us tomorrow morning, Cine TV, cinetv.com. Check out the merch store. Oh, merch store coupons. Merch store coupons. Don't not go anywhere. I've got a merch store coupon, folks. Hold on. I'm looking it up. It's a Veterans Day special. I think it is Veterans. Here it is. Veterans 10. Veterans Day 10, 10% off. Veterans Day 15, 15% off. And Veterans Day 20, 20% off. So those coupons, we'll try to throw it up on the Twitter and the Facebook later today. The Penguins 2-0 on this Veterans